Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. We're excited today because we finally got some people back with us we haven't seen for some time. Look at this full house. Woo! We got Jonathan back with us, right by me. And then we've got James, James and Colton are here all the time, of course. And then Elena is back with us. How you been, Elena? We haven't seen you in a while. How are things?
Well, all is well. All is well.
You went on a trip?
Yes, yes, I did.
Yeah, I hope that was good. All right, so we are this week continuing on with our reading of the David story. Let me get lined up here. So this is reading the story of King David in Hebrew, קריאת סיפורו של דוד המלך בשפת כנען. Again, Sfat Kna'an is the language of Canaan, and that's how Hebrew was referred to in the Bible, the language of Canaan. We're going to pick up here on May 12th. That's what date it is, obviously. These are our wonderful friends at patreon.com who support the work here. So please, if you're able and you enjoy what we do, then go to patreon.com/the Hebrew Cafe. And I don't know, buy me a cup of coffee.
Muriel says hi. Muriel says hi. Hi, Muriel.
Who else is out there in a live chat world?
Apparently,
I think
two others.
Because my mom said she'd be there. We are doing our weekly
Mama Hair.
first, second, third hour. We've got first hour at 5 o'clock, like we're doing right now on Mondays. Second hour 6 o'clock. Third hour 7 o'clock. Remember, we are doing reading, grammar, and then Hebrew and communication, which is for patrons. And then on Thursday, we're picking up the second and a half hour for homework review. Again, this week is going to be a double because last week, what did I do on Thursday?
Got sick.
No, last week
the week before.
I put lessons 16 and 19 together instead of 16 and 17. So this week we need to do 17 and 18. Currently, we are starting.
Some may say you pulled a Jonathan.
Some may say. Some may
say.
So we are starting this week's 1 Samuel 23, David at Keilah, and Saul pursues David. That's where we are in the story. The verb we want to take a look at is this verb, lehilachem. Lehilachem is to fight, like it's related to milchama, battle. Let's write milchama. This is a battle, also could be a war. Another word for battle is krav. Krav, like you might know of Krav Maga. It's a battle of touching. Yeah. So milchama is a war or a battle, and we are looking at the verb lehilachem. It's on that root, lamed chet mem, the same root we have in milchama. Okay, so we call it by the past tense nilcham. Nilcham, he fought. Normally, he fought is followed by bet, he fought against someone, or al, he fought for something. Like Nilcham al Yerushalayim, he fought over Jerusalem, he fought for Jerusalem. And he fought Nilcham Baplishtim. He fought the Philistines. Okay, so the Nilcham obviously goes to Nilchamti. I did it. I fought. Nilchamta. You fought. Nilchamt. You're speaking to a woman. Nilchama. Okay. Nilchamnu. Nilchantem and Nilchanten. That's a tongue twister for me. Nilchamu. They fought. We don't say it like this in modern Hebrew, so it's hard to say Nilchamtem. We say Nilchamtem, which is easier to say. All right, so the present or the participle is nilcham. Notice that in the nifal, the participle has a kamatz, and the past tense, when not in pause, has patach. So that's a good indicator. You're trying to tell the difference. Nilcham and nilcham. Nilchemet, he nilchemet ba'oivim. She fights the enemies. Nilchamim, nilchamot. Okay. The infinitive construct is lehilachem, to fight or to battle, to engage in a battle. The future, yilachem. Yilachem is nifal, the noon has been assimilated. Nilcham, yilachem. Yilachem becomes elachem, I will fight. It could also, this first syllable in the nifal can be either which I prefer, or I. That's a chirik, excuse me. Ilachem and elachem are the same. Now I've got a mosquito that I'm going to kill by the end of this lesson. Okay, the tilachem is he or you will do it. You will fight. You will fight if you're speaking to a woman. Tilachmi. Tilachem, she will fight. Ilachem, he will fight. Nilachem, notice the three different syllables. That's the future of we will. It's got the noon assimilated. Nilachem, like nilachem. Tilachamu, you will fight. Tilachemena. Tilachemena is like tilachem with the na suffix. The na is you or they. Tilachemena. And yilachamu. Yilachamu. There are a couple of things that are interesting about this verb. First of all, we should say, I don't think we've ever said it, that the na suffix on the end of this second and third form for the future, na, in all situations, it could be written with nun sofit with kamatz sticking out on the side. So tilachemna can have a hey on the end, or it can appear tilachemna. Tilachemna. So the nun sofit could appear instead of the nun hey. Don't let that frighten you. Then finally, the imperative, hilachem, okay, hilachem, fight. Hilachmi, fight. Hilachamu, hilachemna. There should be an accent right there, hilachemna. Okay? How do you guys feel about that one? Brilliant verb. Oh, I wanted to say one other thing, that the vav consecutive is not vayilachem, but vayilachem. The accent shifts back on that one. Vayilachem. What do you guys think about that word?
Fun stuff.
Is this a word that you feel comfortable using the forms?
More or less, except for some of those. Some of them I hadn't seen.
Yeah. Okay. My mom is out there and she says hey to Muriel and to me and hopefully to everybody else too. Let's go. We are going to the beginning of the reading. Okay, this is again 1 Samuel chapter 23. And who would like to start us out?
How about we follow the order on screen
All right.
so that I can
Number 1 says,
remember where I go?
ויגידו לדוד לאמור, הנה פלישתים נלחמים בקהילה, והמה שעושים את הגורנות. ויגידו, this is להגיד, הגיד, which means he announced, told, or said, told somebody something. The form in the future would be yagid, yagidu, yagid. Future means yiktol, doesn't really mean future necessarily. So the vayiktol is vayagid, vayagidu, or vayaged. The hifil e would be shortened, but still vayagidu. They told to David. They told David, vayagidu le David, saying, okay, lemor. Normally, we'll quote, we'll put a quotation mark after it. So this is saying blah, blah, blah. Going to go all the way down there. Hine flishtim nilchamim. Okay, they are fighting. This is our word. And in this case, the bet is not against, but it's just a place. Where are they fighting? The Philistines are fighting in Keilah. Keilah is a place. Okay, from what I looked at, I think it's somewhere in the area of Hebron.
The NRSV does say against.
Yeah, they're fighting against Keilah. It's true that they had laid siege against it. They were trying to conquer it.
Maybe that's
But
where they get it from.
and it could be that they were fighting against the city, but normally you don't fight against a city; you fight against a people. But maybe
What if it's a proper
Behema.
name? What if it's a proper name?
It is.
Well, it's a proper name, but of a town.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even if it's a proper name, it doesn't change.
I would think probably Al Keila, fighting upon it, like for it, trying to take it. So Bekila or Bikila to me seems like it's where they're fighting. But I don't know what other translations have to say. I didn't check anything. Did you check anything besides the NRSV?
I'm just using this one for now. I can check others if you want.
Chicken NIV says against. Lexham, hold on, Lexham English says, look, the Philistines are fighting in Keilah. Septuagint, let's see what it says. En te Keilah. En. And if it were fighting against it, it would be a P, I think, in Greek. English Standard says against. Christian Standard says against.
Pick your poison, take your choice.
The Tanakh version from the JPS says David was told the Philistines are raiding Keilah and plundering the threshing floors.
Interesting.
Okay. Yes. So Vehema and they shosim et hagoanot. Shosim, plundering. And goren is where you walk on things to make them, break up. A threshing floor. You hit them, you step on them, you crush them to make them break up so you can use them. All right. Verse 2.
My
That would
turn.
be Jonathan.
Yes. Vayishal David Baronai lemor ha'elech v'hiketi ba'plishtim ha'ele. David asked Adonai, should I go and attack these Philistines?
You're not done.
I am not done. And Adonai said to David, Lech, go, attack the Philistines and deliver Keilah.
Okay, so go. It's funny because he asked the question, should I do this? Which we have with the deliberative hey, the yes or no question. And elech, I will go. So
Yeah,
shall I go?
He doesn't answer. He gives he just restates. Yep.
Yeah. But what's interesting about it is you don't see some word like, we tend to say yes or no, like ken or lo. He's not saying can. He just says, shall I go? And he says, go. Shall I strike? Strike. Okay, so instead of saying yes, he repeats the verbs that he uses, and that's his saying, do it. Do it.
Jason's still in May 4th.
Reminding everyone that May the 4th was last Sunday, and that tomorrow there are 3 episodes of Andor season 2 that will be finishing up this season. So that's what I'm going to do immediately after this, after our sessions. All right, number 3 goes to James.
ויאמרו אנשי דוד אליו, הנה אנחנו פה ביהודה יראים, ואף כי נלד קהילה אל מערכות.
No, Neled. Neled is we will have a baby.
Yeah, we don't want to give any birth to babies.
ואף כי נלך קהילה אל מערכות פלישתים.
Yeah,
So
you remember that ma'achot in the construct is the form that we used a lot in chapter 16, I think, where David was going to fight Goliath.
Yeah. All right. So the men of David said to him, behold, we here in Judah are afraid.
Mhm.
and
Or we are afraid here in Judah.
mhm.
You know?
And also when we go to Keilah, so something like how much more, the idea, I guess.
If
To the
we're scared here in our home court, how are we going to feel when we go over there and try to fight these people?
how much more to the encampment or the arrangements, the what do you
Battle
call
lines.
this? Battle lines, yeah, of the Philistines.
Yeah. Like we're scared enough here. You think we're going to go over there and fight them? They're going to wipe us out. All right, verse 4. Elena, you said you want to sit out. Do you still want to sit out or do you want to participate? Okay, so I'll move you down and then Colton will take over. from there.
ויוסף עוד דוד לשאול באדוני, ויענהו אדוני, ויאמר קום רד קהילה, כי אני נותן את פלשתים בידיך. And again, David asked of the Lord, and the Lord answered him and said, rise, go down, quick, go down. Be quick and go down to Keilah, for I am giving the Philistines into your hand.
Which means I'm going to let you conquer them. All right, good. We will notice that there's something weird going on about this Keilah, and we see it a lot in the Bible. Ve'oshatai Keilah, that's fine. It's a direct object, right? So Keilah is a place name. So they said to him, we're blah, blah, blah. And even that we go Keilah, there's no directional. It's not to Keilah. It's not El. There's like this directional is missing. So Keilah is functioning throughout this, both in as a place and also a direction to the place, right? And we see that even more in this one that Colton just read for us, where it often happens that with Bo and Lech come and go, that we'll see, the place name, Keilah. We'll see the place name, but it's more interesting to see it with verbs like go down, where there's no directional. Red Keilah, go down to Keilah, and we're missing this directional indicator. It might be because the directional indicator is often the final hey that's unstressed, right? Like Mizbacha, to the altar, Mizracha, to the east. It's a directional. Mitzrayma, to Egypt. Yerushalayma, to, what's it?
I said chutza or
yeah, chutza.
baita.
Nima, kadima. Nima, come inside, and kadima, forward. But because we are Ireans in we wouldn't double another onto it. So a lot of times words that end in can have a double function also with the directional. Okay. Verse 5, back to me. Vayelech David va'anashav. Okay, so the subject, notice, is matching with the nearest subject, like the verb is matching to it. And then these are kind of mentioned as an aside. David went and his men. Okay, so this we see in Hebrew and in Greek all the time, where the subject will be matched with the verb by itself and then another group added to them as an extension of the action. Vayelech David va'anashav Keilah. Okay, that's again the directional. They went to Keilah. Vayilachem, there's the stress that's been moved back. Okay, nasogachol. Vayilachem ba'plishtim. Vayinhag et miknehem. Linhog, nahag. In Israel, a bus driver is called nahag. And you say, hey, nahag, right? Nahag. Vayinhag, he drove, or he pushed them. He drove their cattle, their livestock. Could be cows, could be sheep. Mikneh can be any of those animals that are domesticated for human use. So he drove them. These are the livestock that the Philistines had with them probably for the sake of subsisting while they're doing their besiegement. And David stole their livestock. Whatever animals they had there with them, David drove them off. He took them away. Vayach bahem makah gdolah. Okay, vayach, this is hika. Hika, he struck. And makah is the noun form of that verb. So he struck in them a great striking, meaning he gave them a hard blow. Like he dealt them a hard blow. He hit them really hard. Okay. All right. Vayosha, this is Hifil from Yasha. Okay. Yasha becomes Hoshia. In the future, the Yiktol becomes Yoshia. Yoshia. Okay, in the vav consecutive vayiktol, you take this form, but the vowel becomes e. Okay, and the stress goes backwards, yosha, yoshia, and then because the ayin influences that vowel, it colors it as a instead of e. So we get to vayosha. Vayosha is hu hoshia. Hu hoshia. It's a hifil. He delivered. It's like Yoshia, but it becomes Yosha. Vayosha David et Yoshvei Keilah. David delivered, that he saved the inhabitants of Keilah from the Philistines. That's assumed. All right, I hope that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It
Number
does.
6. Yeah.
That's me, right? Vayhi bivroach Evyatar ben Achimelech el David Keilah ephod yarad bayado. So when Evyathar, the son of Achimelech, fled to David, Keilah.
Yeah, so this is also
that's
directional.
the towards Keilah.
Yeah.
Yep. Ephod Yarad.
If
Well-
we were to arrange this as above consecutive, we would say Vayhi bivroch Evyatar ben Achimelech el David Keilah, excuse me.
Oh, he just came down with
Vayered.
an ephod in his hand.
Vayered
Okay.
ephod biado.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's fine.
And he went
that's
down.
fine.
He went down a breastplate in his hand.
That's neat. Verb gapping. Cool.
Yeah. And so ephod has been pushed forward to break the above consecutive, and it's what do you say? Object displacement, left displacement, something like that.
Yeah, left displacement, or my professor would call it dislocation. Dislocated.
Left dislocated, like your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Ow, my left shoulder is dislocated.
Which is actually right in Hebrew.
Right is left, and left is right, and up is down.
Oh boy.
All right.
And dog is fetch.
Yeah.
Who is he and he is she and me is who? It's so
Oh,
confusing.
I got to non-name drop Nehemiah Gordon today in
I
BLM.
saw that, and
That
I
was
got
fun.
it. I think I was the
But
only
then,
one.
but then I posted his video. So number 7 goes to James.
ויוגד לשאול כי בא דוד קהילה ויאמר שאול ניכר אותו אלוהים בידי כי נסגר לבוא בעיר דלתיים ובריח. All right,
So probably not delatime, but dla, D-L-A, dlatime.
consonant cluster.
Nitpicking
Yeah.
modern Israeli.
It was proclaimed to Saul that David came to Keilah.
Because it's subordinated, you might even translate that with a post perfect with a
Had come.
what's that? Yeah, he had come out. Is it post perfect?
Pluperfect.
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 Yeah.
All right, and Saul said, I don't like this verb, but something translated as delivered, but I think it's Certainly the form of recognizing is in there somehow. Disguising, recognizing something, hidden him, the
So
Lord
it's a
in my
peel
hand.
of it's what we always think that like hikir is only in hifil, like hifil and hufal, to recognize or to
Mhm.
know. So this is the peel of the same verb, lenakera.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, even in the call, it's like has to do with recognition, though, if I'm not mistaken.
So let's throw that up here. So this is the root. This is halot, by the way,
Yeah, nifal is
Nifal.
disguise oneself.
or to be recognized, to be considered strange. The
Look at the
peel.
look at the footnote if you can, Jason, in the Greek.
I will in just a second.
Yeah.
So the peel nikal, which is like shilam, okay, to misjudge or make a false pretension, right? When it's speaking about a place, it means to deface it, to deface a place, and it gives a couple of references. And with
And with a hand.
biyad, it means to
Mhm.
hand over. So that's what we're looking at, where David has been handed over into Saul's hand by God. God has been.
Okay. And four, hold on. Yeah, four, I guess there. It was shut, something like that. Shut in, something like that, to enter in a city of doors and bar, iron, something, and bar.
How about we take that lamed as like an instrumental infinitive, saying, "For he has shut himself up." Niskal, he's shut himself up by coming or by entering into a city that has doors and bars. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, that's how I would read it. Jonathan, you disagree with me? You
No,
disagree with me.
I do not.
Lamed of manna.
All right. This next one is also a PL, the first verb in verse 8.
And this is me again.
Colton.
Or no, who is it? Colton.
Uh,
Sorry, guys, I'm distracted.
וישמע שאול את כל העם למלחמה, לרדת כעילה, לצור אל דוד ואל אנשיו. I have no idea what Shema does in the PL.
Is it to
I
summon?
think it acts like Likro.
Okay. And Saul summoned all the people to the battle to go down to Keilah, to distress David and his men.
Probably to make besiege against.
Okay, I just didn't know the route, so I just went with the one that looks familiar. The one that looked like it. Yeah.
So
That
that's
makes
the
more sense.
sense of like narrowing.
I killed
right?
it. I killed it. Look at that. Look at that. I killed that mosquito. I killed that mosquito like I said I was going to. There it is right there. Ooh, that evil creature. Kill them all.
Jason,
Great.
Jason, is that the
Yeah.
sense of like narrowing, like sour, like a narrow place?
Well, that
Is that where
does mean
besiege comes
narrow. Tsar is narrow. Latsur, I would relate it in my head to matzor. Matzor. Wow, matzor, I think, is a saw. A saw? Matzor? Is that not right?
It would make
but-
sense, like the walls are closing in on you, like in a siege, essentially, like you're entrapping them in. I don't know. Just a word picture.
Matzor is okay. So I wasn't wrong about it in the beginning. Matzor is a siege. Let's see about that root sur. Matzor can also be a city that has like a wall, like a fortified city. Sur,
yes.
to bind. They give it Okay, they give it as if it were doubled resh, and it's related to tsorerai, my enemies, and so it comes into to fight or attack someone.
Okay, so I was right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But what's it called? The translation I looked up earlier said to make a besiegement. Trying to find where that would be. There are a lot of roots with
Yeah,
Tzad Media.
NRSV has to besiege.
Yeah.
To besiege.
So I'm not sure.
David and his
exactly
men.
honest. But I would think that's probably from the idea to set up a wall around them so they can't get out. But that also involves fighting them, so we'll not count it out. Verse 9 is back to moi, I believe. Yes. Vayeda David. Okay, now this, if he didn't know before, now he knows, he knew, which means he found out. Vayeda David ki alav Shaul machrish hara'a. Vayomer el Evyatar HaKohen Hagisha ha'efod. Hagisha ha'efod. Hagisha is imperative of lehagish. Higish, present something, turn it in. Machrish ra'a. He was, I guess it means that he was spreading around. Let's see what it says for him. When David learned that Saul was planning to harm him, is what it says that the meaning of the Hebrew is uncertain. This is from the Tanakh. Let's look at Echrish. In the Hifil, Echrish, it says means to plot. So he's plotting evil against him. That's the idea. When David learned that against him Saul was plotting the evil, he said to Evyatar the priest, Hagisha ha'efod, present the ephod. In other words, give it to me. Okay? Jonathan, are you ready for number 10?
I am number 10, yes. Vayomer David, Adonai Elohei Yisrael, Shamoa Shama Avdecha, ki mevakesh Shaul lavo, yes, Shaul lavo el Keilah l'shachat la'ir.
Shachet.
Sorry, yes, l'shachet la'ir ba'avuri.
There's a lot of interesting things in that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good verse.
So David said, Adonai, the God of Israel, has surely heard your servant, for Saul is seeking to come to Keilah in order to kill, well, not to kill, to ruin the city
Or destroy.
on my account.
So,
destroy
first of all, we
David's
have a
servant.
directional with Keilah. We have a directional finally. And L'shachet is taking its object with a lamed. La'ir. L'shachet la'ir instead of L'shachet et ha'ir. What other famous verse? What other famous verse has a lamed for a direct object in Hebrew? Nobody?
I don't know what you're referring to.
There's a very famous verse in Hebrew that has a lamed instead of et.
Don't know.
It starts with ve'ahavta. No?
Et Adonai Elohecha?
Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha.
Reacha kamocha.
You shall love your neighbor as yourself. It doesn't
Oh, there
say
you
et
go.
reacha, but lereacha. So there is a lamed that prefixes direct objects in Hebrew that is used sometimes. And that's what we have going on here.
And a
So,
few
lishchet,
manuscripts have ha'ir. Yep.
Notice that the leshachet is piel, but this root is also expressed in the hifil. It was in our vocabulary for last week, I believe, with the exact same meaning, to corrupt or destroy. Leshachet or lashchit, in the hifil or in the piel. So that's fun when verbs have the same meaning in piel and hifil. All right, great. Is there anything else you want to bring into that? כי מבקש שהוא לבוא אל קהילה.
No. Looks good to me.
All right. And ba'avuri means
On my account.
for me or on my
Because
account.
of me. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Ba'avur plus
Good.
ot.
So David's going to ask another question of God, and God is not going to say yes or no. He's going to repeat the verb back. So it's neat. Verse 11 is James.
היסבירוני בעלי קהילה בידו. הירד שאול כאשר שמע עבדך. אדוני אלוהי ישראל הגד נא לעבדך, ויאמר אדוני ירד. So, something like men or lords of the city, this place Keilah, I don't know, have they shut me in or something?
Will they hand me over? Lasgir is to hand over or to betray. This is the same verb that's used in translations of the New Testament with Judas.
I was thinking sagar, like shut.
Yeah, Yehuda hisgir et Yeshua. He betrayed him. He handed him over.
The different meanings in the different binyanim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So ha yasgiruni va'ale kehila biyado. Will they hand me over into his hand? Will they give me up into his hand? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Will Saul come down as your servant heard?
Mhm.
O Lord God of Israel, declare to me or tell your servant something. Declare your servant to your servant. And the Lord said, he will go down.
Mhm. He will come down. So he answered one of his questions. Will they betray me? And will Saul come down? And God said, he will come down. All right, good. He answered one of his questions.
He said, yea, raid.
Yay, raid.
Yay, raid.
Yay, raid. So, Colton, you've got verse 12.
ויאמר דוד היסגירו. Sorry. No, that was right. Yeah. ויאמר דוד היסגירו בעלי
Hayasgiru. Hayasgiru.
קהילה אותי ואת אנשי ביד שאול, ויאמר אדוני יסגירו.
So he had to ask that question twice, didn't he?
Yeah, and David said, will they betray me? Will the lords of, will the heads of the city betray me? And my men into the hands of Saul. And the Lord said, they will.
Yeah. So this Yered and Yasgiru is basically the way of saying yes. Right? Will you come to my party? I will come. That's how you say
Yavo.
yes.
Evo.
Avo. And
Avo.
Yavo. Yep. Good. Good. Verse 13. If we see time.
He's still got Star Wars on the brain.
I cannot get Emperor Palpatine out of my head. Good. Kill him now. I really took full advantage of Star Wars Day. Yeah.
I
And
only
I'm
watched
so-
one.
Andor, it really is the best Star Wars production ever. So, all right.
I really should watch that.
You should. You should. ויקום דוד ואנשיו כ-600 איש, ויצאו מקהילה. Okay, so again, Vayakom is singular, agreeing with David. Vayakom David. And then Anashav are added, his men are added, kind of as an afterthought. So David got up, David arose, and his men, about 600 ish, about 600 men. Vayitzu mikeilah, and they went out, they left, they went out of Keilah. Vayitalechu ba'asher yitalachu. So vayitalechu ba'asher yitalachu. Yitalachu is the pausal form that's the same thing as yitalachu. They wandered around wherever they would wander. They walked around wherever they would walk. That means they didn't have a direction. They were just walking around. Okay? Ula Shaul hugad ki nimlat David mi ke'ilah. Nimlat is nifal. It means he escaped. You escape from a place. So, and hugad, it was said to Saul, means that they told Saul, whoever they were, that David had escaped from Keilah. He had already run away. Vayechdal latzet. Vayechdal latzet. And he stopped or ceased coming out. Coming out means going out to war. So he stopped his forces from leaving. He didn't go to Keilah. All right? You guys agree?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Vayechdal is chadal, means to cease or to stop. I think we've had it in our vocabulary recently in Shio's book. All right, Jonathan, verse 14.
Vayeshev David bamidbar b'matzadot, Vayeshev Bahar bamidbar Zif. Yep. Vayevakehu Shaul kol hayamim v'lo
Vayevakeshehu.
Vayevakshehu. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Vayevakshehu Shaul kol hayamim v'lo natono Elohim bayado.
Netano.
So, yes. So David sat in the strongholds of the wilderness, in the hill country.
Is that what it says?
That's what this. Yes, that's what this translation says. I was reading that. Well, David remained in the strongholds in the wilderness, in the hill country of the wilderness of Ziph. Saul sought him every day, but the Lord did not give him into his hand.
Okay.
Interesting.
Strongholds.
Very interesting. In the
Okay,
strongholds.
David stayed in the wilderness, in strongholds, and he stayed in the mountain area in the wilderness of Ziph. Saul sought him all the days.
Bahar is the hill. Yeah, I've seen that happen before, the hill country. Yeah.
And God did not give him into his hand. Okay. Great. It looks pretty straightforward. Har, we normally would say, is a mountain, but it also means if it's like talking about an area, then it's a mountainous area.
Yeah, I think the reason why it does hill country is because you have a double preposition.
Maybe.
Right? You have to make sense of the double preposition. In the hill country, in the wilderness. You couldn't say in the mountain of the wilderness.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what you can and can't say. Okay. So James, verse 15.
וירא דוד כי יצא שאול לבקש את נפשו, ודוד במדבר זיף בחורשה.
Mhm.
David saw that Saul went out to seek his life or seek him. Something maybe and or but David was in the wilderness of Ziph in the Horsha.
Horsha is it's not an orchard, it's not a vineyard, it's just a place where there are trees.
Oh, I thought it was a place name. Horesh.
A grove.
A grove.
Yeah, it's not vineyard where they grow grapes, and it's not orchard where they grow fruit trees, but it's just a place of trees. Horsha. Okay. Good.
So yeah,
Vayal
that last phrase or that last clause, is that just is that what it's saying? But David was there at that place?
I don't think we need but. It's just this is a circumstantial. It's like so we saw before that he said that he stopped going out to search for him, and then he was always looking for him, but he didn't take his military out. But then suddenly he heard about David being in this place. So David saw that Saul had come out to seek his life, to kill him. And this is like saying while David was in the wilderness of Ziph in the grove. It's a circumstantial. The best way that I could explain it.
I'm following.
I remember a stupid example from when I was flying all the time, and they would say that that like the life vest is underneath your seat. Like they just said and the life vest is under your seat instead of saying like I don't remember how it went in English. It doesn't matter. It's a circumstantial. So it would be something like David went out against Goliath and his sword in his hand. And what it means is with his sword in his hand. Like it's a circumstantial idea. So Saul went forth to seek David's life, and David was in the desert of Ziph in a grove. It's a circumstantial. There's no opposition to it. I mean, because otherwise it would be like Saul went out to seek David's life, but David escaped through blah, blah, blah. There is opposition where he came out to seek him, but he did that. This isn't but. It's just that's where he was whenever he came out to look for him. Circumstantial. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. 16, Colton.
ויקום יהונתן בן שאול וילך אל דוד חורשה ויחזק את ידו באלוהים.
Ooh, that would really make you mad if you was the king, huh?
Mm-hmm. And Jonathan the son of Saul rose, and he went to David. Horesh. What's that mean?
The NIV does take it as a place name. Horesh, a place. And Horsha would be to Horesh.
And he strengthened his hand in the Lord, in God. Excuse me.
All right. I don't know. I guess Horsha is to Horesh. I don't know if Horesh is a place name. Let's see if we get a definition in what's it called. Horesh, no. Halot says that Horesh is a fossilized locative. In Vulgate, it's translated as Silwa, which means forest. 10 kilometers south of Hebron, 3 kilometers southwest of Ziph. Okay. I don't know. We use it today as like a place where you grow trees. For sure. Okay. What do you guys think? Jonathan went off and strengthened David's hand. What does that mean?
I don't know, but it sounds like it could be dirty.
I don't think it's dirty. Think about if somebody's coming out to kill you, you're going to be scared. And what happens when you're scared?
He gives him courage.
You shake.
Oh, steadied him. Oh, maybe so.
Yeah, he strengthened his hand means that he steadied him. He made him stronger so that he would not be afraid because God would be protecting him. So he strengthened his hand in God, meaning that he convinced him that he needs to trust in God, and he helped get rid of his fear. Make sense? Yes. I think it does.
I think it does.
All right.
It's a good way.
I think that's a good place to stop. Verse 16, because we've all read, I think we all read the same number of
Numerous
verses.
times.
Yeah. So we will pick it up at verse 17 for next week. Anything you guys would like to discuss, ask, anything from the live chat that isn't clear that you want to have addressed?
Questions from the chatters.
Mhm.
The chatters from the chatters.
What do you think? Anything you want to say or get out? Because we haven't had a lot of time to deal with live questions from the chat in a while because the grammar is overwhelming. Don't you think the grammar is overwhelming? It's a lot to cover in one session.
There's a lot.
I'm really glad that we've covered the homework in a different session now.
Is there other verses using Lamed as a direct object marker, says Adele?
Yes. I can't recall them. We could look them up in Gesenius. This is actually a standard feature of Aramaic.
I was about to say it. Dang it, you beat me to it. At least the Aramaic of the MT for sure.
Well, I noticed Colton got a new microphone, or I am just now noticing it.
Yeah, it's been here. I usually keep it out of frame like that.
No wonder your voice sounds so purty.
It be so, Chris.
It be so, Chris. It do indeed.
Let's see. Direct object.
Actually, this isn't even the microphone. That's the microphone.
Oh,
that
that's
sounds
really
too.
good.
That's really good.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't even realize it was like that. Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know why it does that. I have to select it in every call that I'm in.
Mine does that sometimes.
Kills
It gets confused.
I forget. I don't even think about it sometimes. Yeah,
that is podcast quality right there.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That is nice.
So this is from Gesenius, section 117N. He says, another solecism of the late period. I don't know if it's late, because I don't know that Deuteronomy is necessarily late. I don't know. Is finally the introduction of the object by the preposition lamed, properly in relation to, in the direction of, as sometimes in Ethiopic, and very commonly in Aramaic. Less remarkable is this looser connection of the object with a participle, as with hal and isef, zakaf, and whatever. Let's see. To introduce an object preceding the finite verb, lamed is employed in Job 5:2. Also after ahev, love, in Leviticus 19. That's you shall love your neighbor as yourself.
There's your example. Yep.
And 34, the alien who resides with you shall be to you as the citizen among you. You shall love the alien as yourself. With Hivdil, with Herich, with Hivin, Berach. So it gives a lot of different instances if you want to go through it. Section 117.n.
Mm-hmm. And so Adele's follow-up question was, could we say an influence of Aramaic, or simply Lamed was an old version of the direct object marker? To which I say yes.
I think yes.
Maybe
I agree
both.
with Colton.
I would also say yes to both. Like it could be both things.
Yeah. We just don't know.
Aramaic also has a direct object marker and yat,
Yacht.
but it is only
Only
used
a
with
couple
suffixes.
Again,
Only
this
used
is
with
only a couple
suffixes in the
times.
Bible.
Yeah, in the MT, the Aramaic in the MT,
It's like
it
twice
is
or something.
ubiquitous in
Yeah.
Targumic Aramaic.
Yeah, the Targumim, it's just the way it is. It's just like et. It's just
Did
the
you
way
do any
they're-
targums in your program, Colton?
No, I learned it all after the fact by myself.
You did targums on your own? Good
Yeah.
job.
I did Aramaic. What I know of Aramaic, I did all that on my own. I didn't have any of it in school.
Good night.
Mm.
And
Good
Biblingo
job.
hasn't built it yet, so maybe one day, maybe one day, I'll be the one that has
If we
to build
wanna-
it. No doubt.
You better be careful. They might recruit.
So let's look at the Targum Onkelos. So this is with Hebrew. And we'll go to Bereshit.
I should post a free Targum grammar link someplace.
So on the right we have Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, and in Onkelos with betadmin bara ya or ya yat shmaya ve'yat ara. Yat
Mhm.
is used just like et.
And the
to mark
Yah
direct object.
is the tetragrammaton.
Ya is Adonai.
Or in this case, it's just a diagrammaton.
Oh!
Yeah.
Man, we're on fire today.
That is dumb. Sorry.
Straight fire.
Far. You're fired.
Burn.
Yeah. Good. We have
James is
3
having
minutes
too
that we
much
can
fun.
take. We can take between sessions, and we're going to start grammar at 1:00, 6:00 New York time. So we'll see you guys in the show grammar section in just a couple of minutes. Take
Alright, see you
a
folks.
3-minute break.
See you
Go to the
folks
bathroom or
later.
get a drink.
Yep.
Bye, guys. See you in a minute.